contact James Brookman, and hopefully he'll give it to you. Anyway, so welcome to Essential, and this is our spoiler. Welcome to Essential, and this is our spoilers episode of Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Now, for those of you who did not go out and see it like everyone else,
like a normal person.
Like a normal person.
Like a normal person over the age.
Or like Jamie, that's why he's not here. And everything. But either way, Deadpool was awesome. So
yes.
This is going to be spoilers.
Yes.
So what I think we should do is, we should start with the opening credits.
Deadpool.
Then we can swim all around the whole movie. And then close with the closing credits. So don't talk about the end credits until we're at the end. So that's how we know we're at the end.
So in case you didn't realise, turn the friggin' video off now if you're not actually seeing Deadpool yet.
That's fine.
Unless
or
you're really meta.
Save it and watch it again.
Unless you're really meta and kind of like, you know.
Or you just don't give a shit.
Or really, it doesn't really have spoilers when you think about it, because you got a hero, the hero wins.
But then they got a lot of jokes we don't want to spoil.
Yeah, but they have a lot of jokes. We couldn't go through all of them.
To be honest,
I'm sure try.
It was like Airplane in that kind of like regards where
it was very fast and furious.
It was almost
fast and furious. Did you get it? Did you get it?
Yeah,
okay, so
very good.
Let's begin. Spoilers. So the opening credits, best opening credits ever. Talk about it.
Oh yeah, it was alright.
I mean,
come on now.
There were just so many written jokes in that 2 minute credit scene that I can't remember half of them.
I remember none of them.
It
doesn't exactly inspire me to be a director if they're saying that directors are overpaid tools.
Yeah, or an ass hat.
That's
I like the little green
a British villain.
A CGI character, you know, it's all, but not just that, it's so, even as it's going along and you're seeing all the stuff that's going.
That's proof Colossus was a CGI character. Who said he wasn't?
Well, no, because he's probably talking about Deadpool all the time. But when he goes through in the background of it and you're seeing all these things that you've actually probably already seen in the trailer, like the cigarette lighter. The cigarette lighter goes past it, and then it kind of zooms out and he's giving the guy a wedgie. And you're just kind of like, right, okay, this is exactly where I wanted a Deadpool comic to kind of like start. It felt like something out of a comic book. And
it was still image that pulled out into 3D.
Yeah.
And what was amazing was it was complete like motion capture on a gimbal. It was an action scene. It started right from the first frame into action sequence. And as far as credits were concerned, they didn't care about the credits because they worked so hard on the film. They just had all these nicknames for each other.
Yeah.
Hot chick, British villain, asshat as a director. It was just it was amazing because they didn't care. They knew they were going to get the credits anyway. They knew their names were going to show up at the end. So it wasn't like that facetiousness. They all made this movie for the love. That's what it showed me. That they didn't care about, my name's got to go first. It's got to be big and bold and all that kind of thing. I don't care you call me an asshat. I'm a very rich one.
Yeah. I am now after that movie. I was not before it.
Exactly. And the opening action sequence of the film actually sets off the structure of the film because the film is done very much...
I like how the opening action sequence was cut up so much that it was half the film.
We ain't half the film.
Well,
because that it took like 5 minutes to do, or
no. They had a 5-minute scene, and then they put in so many flashbacks into it. It felt like half the film already passed by the time we get to the plot.
Yeah, but see, that was what was amazing about it.
Actually, sorry to interrupt. Don't turn the light off in there, because it'll conversely turn some of the power off. I'm just.
Did I turn the light off?
No. I've left it on.
Oh, okay.
Just in the projection room.
Oh, right,
I'll
all right.
go back in and turn it off. I've set the computer doing something for a while.
No worries. Thanks, Dan. Right. So, half the film.
Sorry, where's your bag when you get to his costume?
It's in the studio. I mean, in the cinema.
Okay.
It's in the cinema where I told Jamie where it was.
Yeah.
Clap the hands. Clap. Right. So, half the film, obviously the film was setting up a structure where they weren't shooting it in sequence, in chronological order. This is the problem of most superhero films, is that there's always a half an hour, sometimes pushing an hour, before the hero is in costume.
Well, in fact, if you include the Hulk in that, I think it was like 90 minutes before you even saw the Hulk in like
Well,
the
wait, which one?
Yeah,
Eric
which
Bana.
which one?
Eric
Bana.
Bana.
No, I thought
No,
you meant that one.
the newer Hulk. You saw the newer Hulk quite
Yeah.
early. You know, it was.
They kind of hit him a little bit, like shadows his face a bit, which I
Yeah,
don't see
yeah.
why.
No,
You know what he
no.
looks
No, what
like,
they
so-
did was they started with an action sequence of Ed Norton doing his parkour throughout the favelas of City of God. Yeah, whatever it's called.
You know,
Yeah.
where the
That
Zika
was
virus
nice.
is.
But anyway, so structure of the film. What did you think about that? How like
I thought it was very.
it didn't jump right into it didn't do this long origin story. It started in action and kept going back in flashback.
I thought it was very economical because technically there was only really 3 sets. There was on the road, the shipyard, and the bar. And they cut it up so much that you didn't realize they only had 3 sets throughout the whole film, and a couple of days in an alley, a couple of days over
What
there.
about the mutant center thing?
The what?
The mutant center is
They showed you the actual Xavier Institute.
Oh yeah, cut scenes from previous X-Men films.
Yeah.
And then they just built a wooden door, put a green screen there. That's it. Yeah.
They had no budget for this movie, and don't give them one.
and the fact that they had so limited sets and then fleshed it up as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
It's A- straight up
was
right there.
that shipyard was used a lot. But
so yeah, talking in chronological order. So
yeah.
But,
So
Yeah. Like Deadpool.
so
after that ridiculously violent kind of like opening
ridiculously
5 minutes of pure slice action, you have the first little flashback which is taken from the comic books where he goes into the apartment with pizza. It's just every single scene in there had something that just made me chuckle or just amused or kind of like.
yeah, because it also set up the fact that like even though he's the merc with the mouth, even though he's a mercenary, even though he's a killer and he kills people, he also has a code. So where it began before he got his so-called Deadpool powers, it began with him actually out defending the innocent. So like people were like, no.
for money.
Yeah, he's a merc, man.
He likes
but
to
like
kill
the whole
people.
for money. But then what I'm trying to say,
He enjoys it.
yeah, but the guy was stalking some young girl, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying that sometimes he does good things, but he also does bad things. He's not a hero.
That's the thing.
He's an anti-
He's not your kind of hero.
He's an anti-
He's the Punisher and Spider-Man put together, as they say.
But Deadpool, he'd never kind of like, if his target was like the mother of someone who was innocent, he'd never attack them. If the mother, if it was like Mama from Judge Dredd, he'd kill her. So he has his code about certain things, but like most
hitmen,
depending on what era of Deadpool you're kind of like looking at. When he first kind of came into the comic books, he was a bit of a all no holds barred merc. He was going to go after anyone. It wasn't until Mark Waid came in and sort of like fleshed out the character, which kind of brought him a little bit more of a
You
moral
mean Lee
code.
Field did make him that way?
No. No, I think Mark Waid's run is the one that really fleshed out the kind of like the characterization of everything that we take Deadpool that this movie was based on. Don't get me wrong, I'm not tarnishing.
No. I'm just saying because Lee Field is now back in the limelight trying to grab all the kudos.
Well, no,
so
Lee
that's
Field,
why.
you can't. It's like saying Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Bill Finger was kind of like Bill
Stan Lee
Finger.
and Steve Ditko.
Yeah, they co-created Batman, but the Batman that they created was nowhere near the Batman that we've got now. He had a gun. He shot people. He killed.
Exactly.
He was closer to the Punisher, just with cape on it. Deadpool did.
He hanged people.
He hung people.
I think that's a little bit of a side question because that's going on. But I would say is that as far as creations are concerned, it starts with an idea. That's important, but characters change over time, and so what you're talking about Wade and about Finger and all of that is that everybody sticks their fingers into the pie. Now back to the movie.
Yeah. So this movie.
It's like me breaking the fourth wall. He's still talking. Back to the movie.
But so after we get the brilliant pizza scene and stuff like that, I think that's when when Colossus gets the phone call. We get the kind of like
Colossus, totally 3D imaging.
what I liked about the whole X-Men thing was there was blatantly a story there. There's something that's happened in the past, which I really want to see in a comic book form.
What are you talking about?
What made you think that?
But, well,
No,
yeah,
he's trying to say that Deadpool has met Colossus
Yeah,
before
it's
the
like,
movie.
come now, we've already asked you to join the X-Men,
Yeah,
why don't you
I
join us?
know.
Look, I don't want the X-Men bullshit.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I was confused about that. I thought, like, hang on, where's the bit when he met the?
Yeah,
Isn't that
but
what-
I didn't need it because it's all
Didn't
we
need it.
needed to know.
It's
That
like they
was
showed
just-
him. They showed him wrestling a few mercs, and suddenly, he's found the guy
Yeah,
who turned into a freak. And hang on,
Well,
when did he have the time to meet Colossus? And
Well,
the-
actually, this is where I'll bring up. This is where the first negative is. The timeline construction of the movie was very piss poor, right? And I'll tell you why, right? Him beating up Vanessa and having sex throughout the ages. I did that once on mescaline, right? I did, right? So like,
Do you know where I could get some?
Anyway.
Wait, would you?
anyway, so when. Oh no
Yes, I just came to see what sort of mess he left. It's all right.
Oh, we didn't mean no mess. Yeah, no.
No,
I
no,
saw. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. I'll sort that in the morning. That's great. Okay, as long as it's not put you out, you can still sit down and
Yeah.
do what you need to do, can't you?
Oh, thank you. Grant.
Okay, all
Thank
right.
you.
See you later. Bye.
All right, bye bye. And so, timeline construction. So what happens is that when he first meets Vanessa and they have sex through the time zones, yeah, you know what I mean, like I did on
the different
Mescaline.
holidays.
You keep
Oh,
Yeah, the different holidays. Yeah,
Well, when you did it on Mesca, was it in New York?
yeah. It was.
I love
So anyway.
I love the whole idea of the whole
Were you
stuff.
just
I love that I-
high on mescaline for the entire year, or was it just every single holiday you go, I'll have some mescaline?
For some reason, you know, when you're on drugs, right? You know, sex is weird. So anyway, that's how I thought that scene was.
Was
with
it
him and
Mesca or
Vanessa.
Viagra?
It was Mescaline, man. One time I was on Ritalin, but moving on. So
I'm just
Yeah.
glad all of that referred to the film.
it doesn't.
The
So it doesn't
thing
refer
is,
to the film.
Ritalin would just make you really OCD about it. You just become that really focused.
I'll
on
tell
that
you what it
one
makes you
thing.
do, but I won't
just-
tell you on camera.
Oh, you did that one nipple for hours. You just rubbing the one nipple for hours.
I said, is that what that is? Is that what that is? You know what? This is the
Easter
mature
egg.
adult content because
Easter
of
egg.
Deadpool.
This is
Easter egg. Did you notice in the bit where they're at the getting the tickets in the what do you call that? Where you're getting the tickets to get buying the prizes.
oh
The
speedball.
Wait, speedball. No, that's another time.
it's-
When they're at the amusement park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, as they were walking away with the prizes, did you notice on the back there was a plush dog pool, Teddy? Did you notice that?
Oh no, I think I heard
Yeah.
that one. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to time zone. What I'm trying to say is, when they were having that sex scene, did you feel that they were really just having sex over one night or a couple of days, or was it over a year?
Over, yeah.
I think we filmed it in one day.
I think that, yeah. how can you
I would love to spend one day with Marina Barker.
how can you ask that question when it's clear when it goes Valentine's Day, International
Because I
Women's
thought
Day,
it was a
Christmas.
joke. I thought it was a joke.
No, it was so
I
wasn't
thought it was a joke.
No,
That's
if it was
why.
a joke, it would have been a lot more in your face.
So, like
about
in
it.
the same day that they met, they decided, okay, let's go to the
Let's
sex shop,
celebrate.
get a strap on, and
Yeah.
celebrate International
Even
Women's
Oh,
Day.
that's all
even
Some people
her
do it.
hair changes.
All right.
Oh,
So you
like
saw
that.
snow outside the window. Fine.
I was really
So-
hoping to do a Gotham reference.
Yeah.
I know,
So
I
anyway-
know what to say.
Anyway, my point is that so that they were together for about a year,
About a year.
and then when he had got the cancer,
Yeah.
it was like one gets cancer. It's not like I got cancer and then I think.
I think that was just economics. Really.
I do.
I'm
There
just
is
saying.
actual. There
To be
is.
fair, they said he had it for a while, and then
Yeah.
it just one of those.
I mean that has it has occurred. I mean the cancer can rapidly age, and this is not
Maybe anal sex brought it out.
Well, maybe
I'm
that's
not
a
sure.
cause.
He pretty much reacted the way anyone should react the first time. I was like, nope.
Hey, buddy, nothing's wrong with that.
Oh,
Jessica
do
Jones.
you want to tell the son, Jason?
But the whole cancer thing. I'm not trying to put a factual basis in a Deadpool movie because that is not what it's for.
No, I just said a little
I just
like.
don't get this time frame thing so far. Everything. you're
Okay,
saying
well,
is
what I was
just-
trying to say is the fact that so that was a weird way of kind of crunching time, and then when he's hunting, after he's Deadpool now, and he's hunting for Francis and everything else like that, that took another year.
Yeah.
So pretty much, for Vanessa, he's been missing for like about 2 years.
Well, a year.
No, they've been together for a year, and then he's been missing for a year. So
So she knew it for
right,
a year,
right,
and it was
right,
a year
right,
that
right,
she
yeah,
got
yeah. Okay. So either way, is that?
No. There's also the time frame of him being there, getting tested on. How long was that?
No, that was like 3-4 months.
Oh.
But she'd been gone. She
No, but
did
that's a
it.
good point.
She'd been gone for a year. He'd been gone from her for a year. She said, "I've not seen you for a year."
But
That
he
was
also
from-
said that he was looking for Francis for a year.
Yeah, he
But
said he was looking
it's
for Francis for a
Deadpool.
year. Either way, what we're just trying to say is,
exaggeration.
what we're just trying to say is, it's a great movie. It's a nitpick about time construction. That's the only reason why I was just bringing it up. It was just like a
that's only
nitpick about.
Chase though. No, everybody else is happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy too.
I really see
That was that-
I'm
we-
happy
we
too.
don't-
I'm just trying to
the-
bring up a negative.
My,
That's all.
my nitpick.
I don't have any other negatives.
My
man.
nitpick is sometimes when Daredevil was jumping
Daredevil?
no, not Daredevil.
Daredevil. Sometimes it's dead.
I
No,
remember
Daredevil's
Daredevil
not in
running
this
around
movie.
this
He's
film.
not in this movie. Sometimes
when
Daredevil's jumping around.
When
you know.
Deadpool was jumping around and kind of like doing somersaults, sometimes the CGI was just the CG was just a little bit flaky. You could kind of like, there was a slight distortion in his body, like body shape where he kind of like comes straight. Yeah, it was just slight. It was just
And
like
his face, I know his eyes were definitely animated, but I think his face looked a bit too much muffled. Like,
yeah, but
animated.
again, I think that kind of like adds.
That was
to
my friend.
Yeah, but I love the eye sockets.
The
I
eye
mean, the
sockets,
eye
those
sockets
eyes.
were perfect.
Oh yeah,
man.
definitely. I like that touch. But my friend Lewis was saying like it just looks so like too computerized for the like a typical superhero movie. That's one of the things he didn't like about the look of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what? You can't
I know.
blame that because that was the problem with like if we would have had the Avengers made in the 70s,
Yeah.
it would be totally shite. I mean, allow the effects to be the effects. Don't criticize.
No, I mean,
the effects.
as I said, it's nitpick. It is
Yeah.
nitpicking, and I didn't
Yeah.
think it was all the way through. It was sometimes where they needed to do something a little bit impossible, like doing a somersault that Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
couldn't have done, and that's when they used the CG, and it was
Yeah.
just those times. But I mean, it was sort of like as soon as that happened, something brilliant happened almost 30 seconds later, and it was like, oh, forget about that.
Yeah, forget
Let's
about it.
focus on him kicking the head in midair and knocking someone out.
Well,
I like that. That was-
Yeah.
well, what was good was when they led right to the bridge, and right to the teaser, viral teaser video.
And
that
they got
was
that
running.
out of the way. I like the
I
fact.
love that, yeah.
I love the fact they got the teaser trailer and leaked footage out of the way. They kind of like it's like
It's like they started with that and they spanned it around that
Yeah.
to tell the story, isn't it, and stuff. So let's look at the
I
characters.
feel like
I
they also
have one
repeated a bit
nitpick.
from the test footage here, which was completely animated. They kind of repeated a few of the jokes, which I can get. But
They didn't repeat
they
the
didn't
head
repeat it.
talking though.
no.
You know when he chopped the guy's head off and then
Yeah.
he brought it up and like.
I know he didn't repeat.
I
that,
know,
obviously.
he-
I mean, when
I
he's
kind of
like,
wanted that.
I mean, like when he's doing the same
Savage Bunny.
red for blood, brown pants kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that
yeah.
wasn't for,
Yeah, that
wasn't
was a
from
terrible
the leaked
joke either
footage.
way.
That was a trailer.
Yeah.
The leaked footage never had that bit in it.
Yeah, it did.
Right.
No,
They did.
Yeah,
I
it
watched
did.
it.
He
No,
said
the
right
leaked
at the
footage-
start.
No,
it is.
No, the leaked
It's-
footage ends when he does the
Yeah.
samurai
No,
sword.
No, but he's
Up through.
Right at the start of that, he said, "I bet you're wondering."
I
why
am willing to
accidentally.
bet the leaked footage is
Oh,
How
right.
much are you willing to bet?
I'll put 5 on it.
Okay.
Wait. Well, I missed the bet.
Well, the bet
The
is
leaked-
Girl, chick was at the door.
The leaked footage, they're saying, has him with coming out of the trailer going, he has the red brown pants on.
No,
The
he-
leaked footage
he has
never had that on.
Oh,
Because
right.
the leaked footage starts with him doing, it's my shit, it's my shit.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and then
Jumps
he
down.
talks about it.
No, he falls down, goes into the car, the rich Corinthian leather, gets his head bounded about things, does the somersaults, and he slides the bike's helmet off.
No, he
helmet
speaks
I'm
to
gonna-
the
I'm-
audience.
oh, I'm
he speaks to
gonna
the
enjoy-
audience
I'm
and
gonna
you're
enjoy
saying, I
watching
wonder,
him lose
I
his
bet
bet.
you.
I mean,
you're wondering-
actually,
I was saying that.
tell you the truth, it doesn't matter. I think what they
But-
just did was they expanded
Yeah.
on the footage. I think the leaked footage was leaked footage of what they could do. They didn't know they were making a feature film.
Yeah.
Now that they're making a feature film, what they wanted to do was expand on the leaked footage, I think. Especially like him counting down his 10 bullets. That wasn't in the leaked footage. So they've added stuff to it. All the bridge stuff with Colossus and Negasonic and all that kind of stuff. All additionals. So they've added to it. So forget that. Let's go to the
Well,
characters.
Greatest use of Colossus ever.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yes.
So that's the
Okay, yes.
that's the first character, Colossus. Now I heard a rumor. I guess it's only a rumor since James told me I'm wrong. That it was played. Colossus it's probably motion captured of the mountain from Game of Thrones.
It's not Gregor. His name is Gregor.
Gregor.
He
All
is,
right, well,
he
he's
is a
also
living
known as the
Viking.
He's also known as the mountain.
I didn't think Colossus was very well written. Just putting that out there.
You didn't think he was well written. I thought he was great because he had the innocence of Piotr Rasputin. and who was like, "Come on, Deadpool, come join the X-Men and be one of us."
Okay, maybe.
I mean,
not
that's
bit so
definitely
much, but
pre-order.
It's the bit where he's just talking to Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which just like, Rick, is his most important sale of the day. I was just like, oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, well that was like, let's give him something corny to say in the X-Men action.
Okay, it was that guy. That guy he is not the mountain.
That guy is not the mountain, but he was still motion captured, right?
He was motion captured in it. He is.
And then
All
someone
right,
else was the voice.
so and then they just
Yeah.
kind of gave him the Colossus shell.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, because I knew there was somebody out there.
I mean, in
But-
the
But it
comics,
wasn't
in the
massive.
comics, like in the X-Men series, can Colossus actually change from like?
Yeah,
Megas?
yeah.
Well, yeah, he can, but he
Humans
didn't in the movie
very
because
tiny.
they didn't
I mean,
think they didn't think. I don't think, and I like that. They didn't think it was important because that's what they did in the previous X-Men movies, was have the the young guy version of Colossus, and he only became Colossus for 2 seconds. This time they just said, look, let's motion capture it. We got this Blur Studios, and we can have him walking throughout this whole time. I thought that was great. So we got Colossus and Negasonic. I mean, I actually thought Negasonic, even though Negasonic is supposed to be from
X-Force, wasn't
X-Force?
it?
No, New Mutants.
Factor.
No, because she was with Emma Frost's crew. But either way, is it that she was supposed to be a telepath, but I thought they gave her Cannonball's powers.
I thought it was,
And I thought that was really
I
cool.
thought it was a really interesting, kind of like unique, different take on it. I was happy
Yeah,
for Fox to
yeah.
go along that way. I thought she was brilliant in it.
She was
I
brilliant.
love Deadpool's reaction to her name.
Oh yeah,
Negasonic won.
That is
What the
awesome.
shit?
Right.
Yeah.
I love the whole fact that just more and more everyone else got frustrated and irritated with Deadpool throughout it.
Yeah.
She got more. She liked him more and more
Yeah,
as
yeah,
it was
yeah.
going on. At first, it was this sort of like ignorant kind of like teenage, and then by the end of the movie, she was kind of like, yeah.
She's like, you're like my kind of guy and stuff. But also too is that, let's go to that joke of like when he goes to the X Mansion and he goes, "Hey, Strange, how come every time I come here it's only you two guys?" It's like we didn't have a budget. You know what I mean? No, that's fucking. Would you? There's plenty of time for
That's
you. to
not
let
the line
watch
that
your
he was
stuff.
talking about. That
Yes,
I
it is.
It was. We were
Yes,
so
it was.
talking about
Yes,
that.
it fucking
You
was.
owe me $5.
Oh, it's bullshit!
Oh, no, you owe me a $5.
Fourth wall break. Look at that, and we can act. So either way,
And he said brown pants.
brown
He
pants.
says brown pants in there.
Okay.
He doesn't
So
say
either way,
brown
let's
pants.
get back to the spoiler review.
Because
And he's still talking about the
Like,
viral trailer.
he said brown
What did he
I
bet
said
you?
red pants.
Like 2
I'm not
cents?
talking about that bit. I was talking about him.
So anyway, back to the characters. So Negasonic was great. So you missed my good line about
I
only
watched
two
the
people.
I-
in
I-
there.
I'll watch
Two
this
people,
later. I don't want the viewers.
Yeah, right. Okay. You're our only viewer. But
We've
like,
got 3 viewers.
We got 3
Once
viewers.
me, once
see, look at that. 3 of you missed the joke. So
I mean, he makes so many kind of like attacks at the X-Men thing when he's like, "I'm going to take you to see the professor." He's like, "Which one?"
McAvoy or Stewart. that I released something.
Yeah. It was all that kind of stuff.
And the Wolverine cameo was amazing.
You know what? To be honest with you, I did not recognize that as Hugh Jackman. I thought it was Beckham.
I didn't think it was Beckham.
Because
It did take me a minute, but I did not think it was Beckham.
I know, why was an American Marvel film talk about David Beckham?
No, he mentioned David Beckham in a joke earlier, but then I didn't recognize that when Marina Brockman takes off the mask, he has Hugh Jackman face on.
I thought his actual prosthetic thing was peeling off or something. I thought that's what the joke was.
No, that's funny. You jumped ahead though. Anyway, so back to the characters.
So,
All right.
I like the taxi driver.
Yeah, I was going to get to the taxi
The
driver.
taxi driver is called Karen. I've seen him in 2 shows last year. One was called Other Space, which was Yahoo's answer to Red Dwarf.
All right.
And another show was Blunt Talk, the one with Patrick Stewart. So I've seen him
Yeah.
a couple of times. He's pretty funny. So when I saw him then, I was like, yeah.
No. He was really good. I mean, they worked that character out because he could have just been a throwaway in the first bit, and then the second bit when Deadpool tries to.
Yeah.
You in the trunk? You shouldn't do that. Let me do the joke.
That's it. The thing is, that scene.
That is so wrong.
That scene, and so many other scenes, I could just imagine them, all the cast, as they were filming it, having such a difficult time getting a take from it without it.
Well, especially this Karen guy.
Without derailing. I mean, that bit in itself, I was just hoping that, I hope the script wasn't actually saying it, and my else just kill it. You know, just in it.
They were so low budget that the small actors that they had to utilize them as much as possible.
No. Yeah, they couldn't have 2 cab drivers. They only could afford 1. So,
And they had to make sure it was a funny one.
yeah, exactly. So
that was probably a real crack house to use as well. For
probably. So also let's not leave out T.J. Miller, who's trying to ride the sidekick wave here. I mean, I thought his part was kind of small in the movie, but it was funny and worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they improvised pretty much all the insults, and there were so many they left out.
Oh yeah. But wait. My favorite line is the one where, I should go with you, but I don't wanna.
It was his realization that he was never going to win the Deadpool. It was just like that. Kind of like, your friend here has just gone through 3 months of torture. He's got what he now looks like an avocado that's fucking ugly. Your concern is the fact that now your bet is calling.
It took me a while to finally be able to say the thing properly. You look like Freddy Krueger face fucked a topographical map of Utah. It's still really fucked that up.
You can't wrap your words around it. But like, it also was a good way to get the name. I mean, how did Deadpool get the name in the comics?
Well, again, it was actually
Clint Eastwood movie.
No, it was actually a similar story. In the comic books, it was like the Weapon X facility.
But it was in the facility.
And there was always all the people who were in the Weapon X facility. They should be like this big gladiatorial pit, and that was called the Deadpool, and it was like the people got thrown in there.
And so because he survived it, that's why he took on it.
Yeah.
All right. So then what was the blind woman called?
Blind Owl.
Blind
Blind
freaking owl.
Is she black in the comics? Because
No,
he makes a point of being black. I don't think she is.
No, I read one.
She's older, white haired.
Yeah. Because she
I'm blind.
in the comic book, she's more of a prisoner than a roommate. Well, I mean,
she probably is the prisoner.
It was clear that they were kind of like shit.
No. Come on.
I mean,
he's just so funny, right? With his baby hair, you know. Oh, I gotta go play with this. I'm pretty sure it's really big in his head.
But I thought,
he's trying to rewind. He's like masturbating. Oh, too far.
He's
got a unicorn on his head for some reason.
What is that? Oh, wow. I did not see that one.
That's just to show that he's a pansexual.
Yeah. And there is a big deal on
and
that
you know, and when Vanessa did it once. Yeah.
But,
anyway, right?
Blind
so Al was great.
Blind Owl was great. Marina.
Well, I was going to say about Marina, I really thought that, now this is what I thought should have happened. When Ajax kidnapped her, right, I thought he should have injected her with that stuff that he's been injecting people. Then when Deadpool gets her and everything like that, you know, no, she doesn't become Domino, she becomes Copycat.
I'm sorry.
So no, it's all right. I'm sorry.
I already learned it yesterday.
All right. So anyway, right? So like the whole thing was, I thought that he should have injected her and everything, and then so when Deadpool rescues her, like when she was in that tank, she could have slowly turned blue. But then that's the same thing that should have happened with Jessica Jones and Kilgrave. But anyway, what did you guys think?
What does Jessica Jones
Well, I was just surprised
Kilgrave
Dr.
was
Leslie
white
Tompkins
and he
Oh
did
yeah,
purple.
she was a turn. I thought she was going to turn purple. I like that.
Yeah, don't jump ahead, but yeah.
Sorry.
I just thought it was weird Dr. Leslie Tompkins turned into a prostitute.
Well, Dr. Leslie Tompkins in the comics was an old woman, so that's even weirder.
Yeah, and she was Bruce Wayne's mentor.
I
heard.
Nanny.
But
I've been watching Gotham though. But not Gotham, let's not talk about Gotham.
Anyway, back to, what did you think? Did you think she should have gotten her powers at the end?
No, I loved her exactly what she was. I thought she was just an absolute...
We all love her.
Yeah, she was a brilliant counterfoil to...
And she was strong. I loved it how she got out of that trap herself, and then she struck Ajax.
She wasn't useless. That's the
I love that.
Deadpool can't have a useless girl.
But she wasn't. Normally in kind of like a comedic kind of like thing, in that when the main character is the main comedic foil, his love interest is never. It's more like the straight person that they play off. Whereas in this, it was clear that they were both wacky, they were both crazy, they were both kind of like had that sense of humor thing.
She had that sadistic mind. That's where the whole anal probe comes back.
Yeah.
We're always going to go back to that for some reason.
No, I'm just saying.
He's counting down days to Women's International Day. As soon as he got home, he went, honey, where's Rivers?
Where's that little thing?
Look what I got for you.
Let me in next week.
I'm gonna come fit through the door.
Yeah.
I can tell your toilet visit is going to be really quick and easy.
Okay. Anyway, right. So let's get
Jackson,
down.
you're sleeping over.
Let's get down to Gina Carano as Angel Dust.
Yeah, liked her. So I mean, in all fairness, you know, she did exactly what she did. She's an MMA fighter. She's not a proper actress.
She kicked Colossus's ass.
She can't. It was like
I was
from
playing in
top,
Amazon
yeah.
in the DC universe.
It was like,
or just any universe really.
it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator. She did the role well. She's not going to win an Academy Award for it. But
She
one
should
thing
be.
is,
What about when your little flower is sticking out?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I was too busy laughing.
He said, your little flower is sticking out.
but again,
You know, like Rosebud.
that again harks back to just how well they used Colossus in that, because it's just like
That bit was definitely good. It's just only the first bit was unsure and then it got better.
It
But she gave his, she said, oh, thank you. Bam, right in the nuts.
yeah,
That's a bitch move.
yeah, it really was a bit.
He is really
I mean, if you're
like
gonna hit him in the
Captain
chest or
America,
something, why would you
by
hit
the
him
way.
there? He's just been very polite.
Go Captain America. What do you
But
say?
Angel Dust was good. Ajax was. I mean, I thought again. I mean, I
British
thought he was
villain.
good. I thought he was good. I mean, I didn't think
British.
he was great. I'm not so
Well, he's
sure
British.
about him. Well, I mean, just because he's British doesn't make him.
Alright,
British villains are awesome.
No, I was
Oh,
watching. I was watching Black Mirror comedy, and what he said was, even though he didn't have that much depth, he was just enjoying his role.
Yeah,
And you could
relishing
see
it.
he
You
was
could-
loving
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and that's
So
what you
which
want.
one's that, Ajax?
Ajax
Yeah,
was
the main
Francis.
guy.
Francis.
But
Francis.
If you read,
Francis. And he spelled his name out.
Yeah.
Same way Gotham did.
I was like,
Maybe Gotham. Maybe
Yeah.
guys who watch Gotham saw that.
If you-
Someone stole it from someone. Maybe Malena gave him the idea.
Hey, this is what you should do. My boyfriend in Gotham.
Oh,
you know,
I have an idea. So if you can give me a little bit of writing credit, I got this idea for my show.
we shot that ages ago ourselves.
We're not gonna. We see what
works.
you've done here, so we're not going to give you writing credit.
Melina got a phone call today saying, Melina!
No,
we don't know really where I was going to go there.
Sorry.
But did anyone notice the Bob cameo?
Bob.
Yeah.
The
still
hybrid
going.
agent cameo.
Yeah, Bob.
I'm just about in it, I think.
No.
So, I mean-
say it again.
If you know Deadpool, that's sort of like one of the more recent series. He bumped into a Hydra agent called
Name.
Bob, who he took kind of like hostage, and then ended up helping him. But he's still.
So where was he in the movie?
Well, he's that guy. He's
He's
one
the
of
guy.
the SWAT guys.
He was a henchman. He didn't kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's the wife?
Yeah. That's the vibe. It's the thing, yeah.
That's
So-
awesome. Now, why did they do? Why did they do
But this
that?
is-
I love that.
He didn't really explain that much. Like, did he mean to do that? Did he controlling him? What's going on?
No. I mean, I remember the scene, but I didn't know it was from the comics. That's
Just
genius.
another
Pure
quick
genius.
one, because she said we're going in chronological order and we skipped something.
Oh, we
I
did,
I found out a great bit of a post about production thing I told Mid
Oh,
before.
yeah.
And the scene, he kept leaving his guns. And
Yeah,
there was
he
that
left them in
scene,
the
he's
cab,
walking
yeah.
in with Colossus and
Yeah.
Megasonic, and she goes,
Slung
"Where's your
walking.
guns?" And he goes, "Ah, shit," and that stuff. Well, in the original script,
Cue the music.
in the original script, that was supposed to be a massive, almost Matrix-like gunfight, but
Alright.
their budget didn't allow that.
Oh, yeah.
So they were like, "What do we do?" It's like, "Let's just leave the guns in the car."
Yeah.
and
Why?
That
I mean,
is
did you not
classic.
make that joke?
No, but
Oh well, we probably couldn't afford them anyway.
yeah, no,
And
but
that's
again,
why the
that's-
taxi driver had a guy in his trunk, because that would function the narrative.
Yeah.
And the chunk crushed the guy. He's like, "Ooh."
yeah.
No. That's excellent.
That's a tight.
So I mean,
What's the taxi driver's name?
Karen.
No, the actor's name is Karen Solin, but his name was Dupinda, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
What was that?
well, depending.
I did not tell him to do this. What is wrong with you? I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. You know, we did that joke 5 minutes ago.
I know. Well, I didn't get to be part of it, so I throw myself.
So
in.
anyway, right? So the big story then was the program, which we assume is the Weapon X or the Weapon Plus program. Are looking for people to mutate and everything, and Ajax is like the head of this program, and then Deadpool, he's just this really ornery person, and then he tells him that I can cure you, and that what do you call it? That pushes the narrative to go, well, I gotta hunt him down. So what do we think about the actual story? Because a lot of people say that the story itself was very thin, the jokes were very long, and the story was very thin.
I mean,
see, that's one. I guess that's the only thing that I might nitpick about is that
Okay,
sometimes
nitpick about it.
the jokes, the one-liners, sometimes they didn't function the scene that well. Like it was a bit more deep, especially when he was talking to his girlfriend after finding out he had cancer. And I thought maybe the joke didn't land as well as it could have.
Yeah.
Which jokes are?
Any joke, really.
Some of the jokes where he was like, after he found out cancer, he was talking to his girlfriend about leaving.
Okay.
And some of the jokes I felt like it didn't land as well as it should.
Oh, okay.
That's my only nitpick. Just a couple of those lines.
I've already told my nitpick, Colossus.
We were talking about the story. What did you think about the story? Was it enough of a story or too thin?
I mean, if you took out all the comedy elements and all the self-referential stuff and the violence, it was your basic superhero plot. It's kind of like
it's your basic origin story.
There's this girl, boy has to go save
you
girl.
Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man, they all have that
Captain
kind
America
of...
took ages.
But this was done genius.
But this was
Iron Man. I love the whole process of like he starts with one like just as a project. What do you call it? Fucking.
I don't know.
Prototype. Prototype thing, and then you got the silver one, which looked freaking awesome. And then and then finally he moved up to the that one. I just loved the whole build up of that.
Yeah.
But then most superheroes are suddenly like they're just like I'll make this one. And next scene suddenly they're in costume like. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Deadpool
again.
I love how he sold it on
Deadpool had that moment, but it was just tailored by. It was sort of like originally it was white, and he came back and everything was covered in blood.
It's like
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
like,
with the,
and then it's sort of like he had the.
And also Gwenpool's outfit is white too.
Yeah,
and
so
the new Gwenpool, so that's kind of funny.
And so it's that point. It's exactly the same kind of superhero plot line that we're so used to, but done really differently and uniquely and well. And I think it goes down to the fact that the guys who created it and who wrote it, who
spent 9 years
trying to hone it and battle and fight for everything. And it tells that the people who did it loved the source material. And it shows in every single good comic book movie that has been out, you can see that the people behind it, they weren't, money and stuff like that, there was in there. But they got the right creative teams in who actually have a bit of accountability about the characters, who love the characters. Avengers, Iron Man, Hulk. I think the Incredible Hulk, the second one was a good movie, so I'd easily put that in there. Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man. I still love that movie.
Amazing Spider-Man actually had the process of the costume. You actually saw him, like how he made his eyes, which I've always wanted to know.
And that's what I loved about Deadpool. Even though it is a basic story part, everything around it just worked so well. No,
definitely. Now, so that brings us to the big battle at the shipyard. Bob, Vanessa getting kidnapped and rescuing herself. Negasonic and Colossus fighting Angel Dust, all this kind of stuff. It was just genius, it was just pure mayhem. And all the budget went to that bit, and the whole big ship falling over and everything. I couldn't understand why he was trying to hang her from the thing and stuff.
No.
Am I in this?
No, you're out there not.
Sorry, Chase.
Yeah.
No.
So
I would have loved, at some point loved to have seen him playing Deadpool the game. That would have been.
That would have been quality.
So
sorry.
Oh no. Yeah. So but bringing it down to the ending where. It's the whole big hero speech. It's about Deadpool. Do not kill him.
You have 4 or 5
there are only
moments in your life.
4 moments, and then he breathes them off. 1.
If you watch that, and in my head, maybe it's just how I'm remembering it, but all the time when it kind of cuts to Colossus talking, and then it goes to Deadpool, and it's like in the game, in the comic books, where there's a scene in the game. Where Cable's talking, and all Deadpool's just got a gun to his own head, and it's just it's all the time. In the movie, it clips to Deadpool, and he's just there, and you could sort of almost tell, although you can't see it, he's bored. He's bored of this. It's like I've not killed someone in 5 minutes, and this is the guy I want to kill. I want to kill this guy. And
because he can't. But also too though it was. So it was heartfelt as well
Yeah.
because that also just deals with that whole beef storyline of the romance. You know, like, reason why it was a brilliant marketing tool was because it's Ryan Reynolds, it's Marina Baccarin, it sells to both male and female audiences. And so we had a really good love story that we didn't hate, or I would like to think we didn't hate, you know what I mean? Because we just got the sex. We didn't get that whole boring malaise around
We
it.
got enough entertaining things around it to ignore that it's a boring love story.
Yeah. The only thing for Chase though, there wasn't any superhero like pounding like he liked Luke Cage and.
Yeah, I did like that pounding,
You
and
like
I
that?
didn't
You
want to
like
see it,
superhero
and I didn't want to see the pro
toilet paper
pound.
scene I like to call
Yeah.
Just a quick,
So
just
anyway.
a quick one for Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned it to you. Don't know if you two guys saw it as well. That big ship that they were fighting on. I thought that looked an awful lot like a Shield helicopter.
I thought
And
so.
if
I was
you,
thinking, how else would it get
yeah,
there?
and if you look,
On this Magneto just got a giant submarine and stuck.
well, if you look on one of the engines as well, I'm fairly sure there's almost like a Chinese rip-off version of the Shield emblem there. Like it kind of like a weird bad.
Well, what I will say to that is that remember people, this film takes place after X-Men Apocalypse. So
How'd you know?
I know that because
it's,
it says it takes
1985,
place
it's
after
set
X-Men
at-
Apocalypse.
it's
So like the
set
thing
in
about it,
85.
yeah. So like the thing about it is, who knows, right? We might get in a movie that comes out with X-Men Apocalypse
I think
some version of Shield in that
Yeah.
movie and everything else like that, landing in that shipyard.
That would be quite.
You know what I
I'd
mean?
like
That
yeah.
would really be cool. You know, that would be really cool pull in that one. So I thought that was a great pull
Well,
on
I
your
think-
part.
Maybe it's one of the ships that went down in the
Everything-
in Captain America 2.
No, I mean everything.
Well, no,
nothing,
because
they all went
there's
down
no
the
That's
cross
Fox.
population.
We're talking about X-Men, like X-Men First Class when Magneto took all the ships. And remember
Yeah.
with the dead pigs? It could have been something from there. But also, I'm just trying to say is that X-Men Apocalypse. It's possible that. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a video.
All right.
Okay.
Just quick.
So anyway, trying to get to the end, right? Yeah. So I mean, as you can see, we're running out of time. It's only supposed to be a half an hour.
One final thing.
Yeah.
Another thing that I liked about it as well. If the X-Men movies didn't exist, that would have still worked. There was only two. There was only
Yeah,
the
'cause you only had
Colossus.
two X-Men.
Yeah, only two X-Men.
And not
But
in
if you
the
look,
X-Men franchise.
it can be put into any X-Men universe. That Weapon X, the facility he was in, they never once mentioned that it's Wolverine that's getting injected into him, but they leave it open enough so that it can kind of like do a whole. This is where we got this chemical from.
Oh yeah.
The
The
one
whole
chronological-
what is it? Alkali Avenue, Alkali Mountain. Or, anyway. go ahead.
Yeah, the chronological thing is X-Men Origins Wolverine had Ryan Reynolds and that was based in the 70s. So does that mean that guy's the grandfather of this?
Hold on,
I mean,
no,
this
X-Men Wolverine Origins was the 90s, 2000. There was not.
No,
It wasn't like
so-
70s.
So the Ryan Reynolds in that film was in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that was in the first.
no, because Cyclops was like 10 years old, so it would be the 70s. The 80s one is the
what
teenager.
Bryan Singer's done with Days of Future Past is that he has completely got rid of everything.
But you can't
no,
put
he
Ryan
has.
Reynolds and stick him in a different time zone.
He can.
It has to be his
No,
father or his
no,
grandfather.
No, it has.
It has to be.
All the logic, right?
Or his
all-
uncle, the uncle he was talking about.
All the logic from those X-Men movies has been wiped out by Age of
Wiped,
by
gone,
Days of Future
gone,
Past.
completely
It's gone.
gone.
It-
Wiped,
it's not. They
completely
don't
gone.
exist anymore.
Wiped,
And
completely gone.
It's his uncle.
Yeah. So anyway, closing credits.
Cable.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, you went. Wait, first closing credits. Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Ferris Bueller. What are you doing here?
I
Why are you still get away?
See, I saw that a couple months ago on
Get outta
Limitless.
here.
See, I saw that a couple months ago on
Who cares?
Limitless, and Limitless did it well.
All right, so did Deadpool.
I know.
Deadpool had a little furry hat on.
Not as many people watch Limitless.
Not
It's on
me.
Wednesday.
But yeah, and so like I heard that the first preview screening there was only one end credit sequence, and then now there's two because when they already got that quick. All right, boom, you got another deal. So I think they quickly just shot the second one with Cable and said yes, Cable's coming, and they said fuck you, we're gonna fucking do this. We're gonna shoot this tomorrow and put it on all the prints that comes out the week after.
But they did.
You know what I mean?
But that's not unusual for movies. Avengers did it with
No
the
movie
Schwarzenegger
does
scene.
it. This movie did.
No, but Avengers did it with the Schwarzenegger scene.
Okay.
The shawarma scene never actually happened in the original core
Yeah,
Avengers
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
it was
yeah,
only
yeah,
kind of like
yeah. They did come
off
later,
the
yeah,
short
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So that's not unusual. And again, that's not me taking away from Deadpool.
No,
It's a
because
great-
Deadpool is awesome.
Yeah.
So, predictions, right? Deadpool and Cable, right?
Yeah.
For Deadpool 2, which has already been announced. Is it going to be Deadpool and Cable, or is it going to be X-Force that will have Deadpool and
I
Cable?
would like to see Cable and Deadpool in a time traveling thing where they kind of like go to pirates.
A road movie, like you know,
when they go back in
like-
time to pirates, and there's a part where Cable's like, "Where's Deadpool?" And he's just swinging on a mask with a pirate cap on. They kind of, "He must be mateys," you know.
Deadpool Illustrated.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Oh.
And it's like, where's Deadpool this time? He's on a T-Rex, kind of like riding in or something. You know, that kind of
That
that
would
is.
be so
Yeah,
awesome.
it would be so good.
That would be so
I mean,
awesome.
all the stuff that
Oh.
people.
You're gonna let me bring this back with me.
Yeah, all the stuff. Oh, do you know what? That would be it. It's just a baby raptor.
Hey,
Come on.
hey, Deadpool,
It's
what
nothing
you
like
got?
Jurassic
Hey,
Park.
Deadpool, what you got in your bag? What?
Yeah,
You can hear the aircraft.
yeah. Well,
Dinosaur.
I mean, there is a lot of
It's an amber. It's an amber.
yeah. There's a lot of complaints that people have had on the reviews that it's a bit too self-deprecating and stuff like that. And so I don't know
That's
how
Deadpool
they
for
go,
you.
yeah, how they
Yeah,
go in
what
the
are you gonna
actual
do? What
thing,
you
but
gonna
that would
do?
be brilliant.
What you gonna do about it? So anyway, I mean, like,
I love the way he was like, by the way, pick up your trash, don't be a dick.
Don't be
don't be a dick. And know what
And
I did? I left the trash.
I picked mine up.
I did it on
Actually
purpose.
picked mine
I
up.
saw you. I did it on purpose. Anyway,
It's like if Deadpool tells me to.
10 out of 10 or
I'd say 8.
Deadpool doesn't tell me
Eight.
what to do.
8.
It's one of the
Nine.
first, one of
What
the
it
first
is.
films in years I wanted
It
to watch.
utilised
Every
So are
year,
you 10?
immediately after.
Are you 10?
9.5.
Okay, cool. 9.5. So anyway, right, so
For
this
the
has
rush
been a
story.
spoiler review of Deadpool, and I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, it was really fun and exciting. I probably should leave in all the interruptions, because I think that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Not like they didn't know we were in here. So either way you go, we'll be back sometime soon. All right, cut that off.
Essential.